And we welcome in everyone. Lennox on Baseball live stream podcast around baseball on Thursday. Wheeler was able to deal the Phillies to another win. Gausman struck out 10 and leading the Jays to a victory, and an odd finish on the south side of Chicago with the Orioles and the White Sox. Welcome in. We recap day number 57 of the Major League Baseball season. We do open with That's Baseball. And I thought about this last night as I was reading the reports and seeing the replay of how the Orioles and White Sox ended. And I've wanted to share this one for a while, just didn't know how I was going to incorporate it. So the ending of the game last night, White Sox furious comeback, fell short. We'll recap that one in just a few moments. But first and second, one out, Andrew Benintendi at the plate, pop up on the infield fly rule in effect. Benintendi is out. But the runner at second base made contact with shortstop Gunnar Henderson. That was Andrew Vaughn. He was called out on runner's interference, ball game over. And it got me to thinking, and this is something I learned a long time ago working in minor league baseball. First, as a broadcaster, you should know the rule book as best as possible. There are some big league announcers who are absolutely on top of everything. Something pops up out of the blue. They know it. They're on top of it. Others, not so much. But last night kind of made me think back to my days in minor league baseball. And this is true. And I was told this early on in my broadcasting career. Not every manager, certainly not every player knows every single rule in a rule book, in the Major League Baseball rule book that also goes down to minor league baseball as well. So this one, not that obscure, but as it was happening late in a game in minor league baseball in the Carolina League many years ago, our official scorer ruled that he was going to give the victory to one reliever. And what that did was it set up where that reliever was the guy who closed out the game. The official scorer could have given a win to a different reliever and then a save to the last guy that he credited with the win. And I was told by other people, and as soon as that happened, I knew I was going to have to go down to the visiting clubhouse, explain the situation, all of those different things. And to the letter of what the rule book states, the official score was correct. But along the lines, he could have rewarded two pitchers rather than just one. And that stuck with me over the years. So go down to the visiting clubhouse. Part of my responsibilities post-game after our post-game was done on the radio, hand in box scores, find out if they need anything, see you tomorrow, is your starting pitcher tomorrow, all those different things. They saw me every single night. So I go into the Frederick Keys locker room, clubhouse after the game, go into the manager's office. And he goes, hold on a second. He looks at the box score. He goes, really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to try to get it changed still. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. But the win goes to the guy who closed out the game, finished the game, didn't give it to a different guy. Go back through the clubhouse a few minutes later, and the pitcher said, why didn't I get the win? Basically, the official scorer deemed that he didn't pitch effectively enough to warrant the victory in that situation. But again, there's sort of a unwritten rule, if you will, of reward two pitchers if you can, rather than just the one. Next day, go back in the clubhouse, and I bring the rule book in, and I was not successful with changing the official scorer's mind to give a win and a save. Bring it into the clubhouse, show the rule in the rule book to the manager. He understands, but I also want him to understand that I understand where he's coming from. I then go to the pitching coach, who just was a tough guy to deal with. Even on the road, he wanted certain things above and beyond. Things I knew he didn't get in his home ballpark in Frederick, Maryland. So Larry Jaster, I try to explain it to him. He's already in a bad mood, which was a daily thing. I try to explain it to him, and I'm showing him the rule book. He doesn't want to look at the rule book. He doesn't want to look at it. He knows. And basically, I'm told to shove the rule book where the sun don't shine. So I've always wanted to share that one. I've shared it before, but I wanted to share that one here. And bottom line is, as that game ended last night, not everybody was familiar with what the rule was. And sometimes that's baseball. We get into it, wrapping up and doing our wrap for day number 57 of the Major League Baseball regular season. Rangers and Phillies. Rangers happy to get out of town in Philadelphia. Rough go of it for the Rangers over the previous couple of days in the city of brotherly love. Phillies rang the bell with their sixth straight win, completed their series sweep against the Rangers with a 5-2 victory on Thursday. JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos, both hitting home runs, both solo shots in the win. Christian Pache, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. His 2-run triple in the fourth inning broke a 1-1 tie. Zach Wheeler, terrific, tossing 7 innings, giving up 2 earned runs on 5 hits. Wheeler struck out 5, now 6-3 with the win. Adolis Garcia, a home run off Wheeler. That came early on in the second inning, his 12th on the season. Phillies win and Phillies sweep their 7th series of the season. Castellanos said after the win, "We're all having a lot of fun doing it." Phillies now 23 games over 500, Major's best record at 37-14 going into Memorial Day weekend. Rangers just 2-10 over their last 12 games. Braves closed out their series at Wrigley Field with a 3-0 victory against the Cubs on Thursday. Atlanta's 3rd shutout win against the Cubs over the previous 10 days. They had 2 shutouts in back-to-back games when the Cubs were in the ATL just last week. Marcell Ozuna did go 0 for 2, a walk, a sacrifice fly, but his hit streak is over at 15 games. Jared Kelenic, a home run, his 3rd for Atlanta, and A.J. Smith, Shawver, and 5 relievers combining on that shutout. And Smith-Shawver worked into the 5th inning and did not end up qualifying for the victory, not going the required 5 innings. Mariners won the first 2 games in New York against the Yankees. Yankees come back, win the final 2, including Thursday's finale, 5-0. Luis Gil retired 9 in a row to start. J.P. Crawford, infield single to start off the 4th inning, the only hit allowed by Luis Gil on the day. Top 6, Gil gave up a leadoff walk, then a 2-out walk, struck out 3 in the inning. His final line, 6 1/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 96 pitches, 65 strikes. It's his 3rd scoreless outing of the season. He's gone 5 straight outings, allowing 1 run or less. 6-1 now with the victory, and the club 8-2 in his first 10 starts on the season. Yankees out hitting the Mariners 11-3 as they come back and garner a split of that series after dropping the first 2. I'll have more on the Yankees coming up in just a bit because they're about to hit, and it's going to start on Friday as they open up a West Coast swing. They're about to hit a pretty big chunk here over the next month. This is a big month for the Yankees. They've got a lot of teams above 500, a lot of teams in division, West Coast trip, as I mentioned, as well. Leadoff hitter Anthony Volpe, 2 base hits, double, walk, run scored. Volpe has now hit safely in 16 in a row. Giancarlo Stanton hit home run number 12 in the second. Aaron Judge, his 15th on the season. That in the 3rd inning. Judge also doubled, and the Yankees win. And the Yankees now have 23 home runs over their last 11 games. Seattle hitters struck out 12 times in the loss. They continue to lead Major League Baseball. They average over 10 strikeouts per game. Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 16 in the series with 5 strikeouts, took the collar in the finale on Thursday. And there's a name. He's sort of fallen off the map here. His numbers, we're at Memorial Day, and his numbers are not on par with what he's done over the last couple of years. Clay Holmes, nice rebound. Holmes got the final out in the 8th inning, leaving the bases loaded, gave up 2 hits, but worked around those in the 9th inning to close things out. Remember, he had the blown save in the opener on Monday, the save for Holmes on Thursday, his 14th on the season. Paul Skeens pitched very well, and Skeens' post-game comments indicating that he didn't have his best stuff. So when you go 6 innings and you're in line for the win, tip of the cap to Paul Skeens, and he ends up with a no decision. Giants came back for the 2nd straight game in the series against the Pirates, won the finale 7-6 at PNC Park. Giants a run in the 7th inning, 5 more in the 8th inning. Matt Chapman, 3-run home run in the 8th to make it a 1-run ball game. Wilmer Flores tied the game with an RBI single. Then Brett Wisely knocked in the go-ahead run with a 2-out single. Skeens' final line, 1 run allowed, struck out 3 over 6. Again, in line for the win when he departed, ends up with a no decision. Pirates got home runs from Andrew McCutchen. That led off the home first inning. Joey Bart, grand slam with 2 outs in the 4th inning against his former team, and Brian Reynolds in the 7th inning. At the time, with Reynolds' home run, that made it 6-2 in favor of the Pirates. Giants call to come back for the 2nd straight game and take 2 of 3 from the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Padres putting things together just a bit here. Fernando Tatis Jr. breaking a 4-4 tie, RBI double in the top of the 10th inning. Jay Cronenworth, sac fly, and the Padres in Cincinnati beat the Reds 6-4. San Diego taking 2 of 3 in the series. Luis Arraez, 2nd straight 4-hit game. I'm going to pat myself on the back here a little bit, probably break my elbow doing it. But Arraez, back-to-back 4-hit games. 8 straight multi-hit games, 20 hits total during that 8-game streak. kind of the opposite of Ketel Marte and his 21-game hit streak. And Arraez has a long way to go. But Arraez during this current streak has gone from 303, which was right around his batting average when he was traded from Miami to San Diego. But with the 2 4-hit games over the last 2 games, from 303 to 341. And he's up there. And I said he could possibly win his 3rd straight batting title with his 3rd straight team, with his 3rd different team in 3 years. And he's right in the mix there. 341. I'll take Luis Arraez against the field the rest of the way. And because some of these guys are going to come back to earth, he's right kind of where he's been over the last couple of years. 5 San Diego pitchers combining for 16 strikeouts. Jeremiah Estrada struck out 5 over 2 scoreless innings out of the pen. He picked up the win in his first in the big leagues. Estrada broke into the bigs 2 years ago with the Cubs. 20 strikeouts over 13 2/3 innings this year with the Padres so far. That covers 10 outings. The Reds, 2 stolen bases. That ended a streak for Cincinnati. They now have 81 through their first 51 games of the season. The Reds have dropped 9 straight series, but they had gone 5 straight games without a stolen base. 2 stolen bases and the loss against the Padres on Thursday. In the end, maybe all we need to know is the game ended on a bases-loaded walk. Rockies and A's tied at 4 after 9. Tied at 5-5 going to the 11th inning. The A's win the game 10-9 in 11. Rockies 4 runs in the top of the 11th inning. 5 runs, 3 earned that the Rockies got in extra innings, all charged to reliever Mason Miller, who's been terrific. Home 11th inning, J.J. Bleday, 2-run home run in the 9th. That tied the game in the 9th inning. Tyler Soderstrom came up as a pinch hitter, walked with the bases loaded, and that was it. A's comeback victory, take 2 of 3 in the series. A's trailed 4-0 through 6, tied the game at 4-4 in the 9th inning, and Bleday's home run in the 11th tied the game up. Daz Cameron tied the game up with a home run in the 9th inning. And Rockies starter Ryan Feltner pitched well, 6 scoreless innings, struck out 6, and ended up with a no decision. So A's do take 2 of 3 in that series. Orioles and White Sox touched on this one in our opening segment. That's baseball. Again, the strange ending. Orioles, White Sox opening up the series on the South Side Thursday night. Orioles win the game 8-6. In that bottom of the 9th inning, White Sox with 4 runs across to make it a 2-run game. They had the tying run at first and the winning run at the plate in Andrew Benintendi with 1 out. Benintendi pop up on the infield. Infield fly roll in effect, first and second, less than 2 outs. Benintendi, the hitter, is out. Andrew Vaughn, off the bag at second, makes his short way back to second base. But as Gunnar Henderson was coming in behind him, Vaughn back to Gunnar Henderson, the shortstop for the Orioles. They made contact. Incidental or not, didn't matter. The runner made contact with the fielder. Double play, runner's interference, and the ball game was over. And again, sort of along those lines of not everyone understanding how that play. I give credit, hey, we bash umpires all the time. They got it right to the letter of the law in the rule book. Orioles manager Brandon Hyde said afterwards, we escaped there. Momentum is something in baseball. First and second, 4 runs across, just 1 out in the inning. Craig Kimbrell had entered the game. Kimbrell gets the double play, ball game over. And White Sox down 8-2 again, going to the bottom of the 9th inning. 4 runs across, but double play ends it. Anthony Santander, Jorge Mateo, both hitting home runs in the 4th inning for Mateo. A 3-run shot, Adley Rutschman 2 hits, and 3 RBIs as well for the Orioles in that victory. And the Orioles, not much needed win, but they had lost 3 in a row in St. Louis, go to Chicago, pick up a win on the South Side. Blue Jays, maybe turning things around, thumping the Tigers in Detroit, 9-1 in the series opener. Tigers have now lost 5 in a row. Vlad Jr., 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Bo Bichette, 3 hits, a run batted in. Dalton Varsho, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Vlad Jr. all home rain. Varsho's 2-run shot in the 7th inning, breaking a 1-1 tie. Blue Jays did not trail again. Varsho, number 9 on the season. Kevin Gausman, 10 strikeouts, gave up an earned run over 6. Gausman the win, and he is now 3-3 on the year. That is a wrap on day number 57 of the Major League Baseball regular season. Sugar's Random Thoughts, brought to you by the Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast in Easton, Maryland. Considering a stay on the beautiful Maryland Eastern Shore this spring, summer, or fall. Summer unofficially underway with this Memorial Day, but consider a stay at the Yellow Rose of Talbot B&B. Tell my sister Tammy, my brother-in-law Kenneth, that I sent you their way. Day games are great! Exclamation point. Has anyone ever settled this argument? What's better, the Dodger dog or the Fenway Frank. And don't forget, the Yankees in the Bronx, well, at their concession stand, in the stands, they sell Nathan's hot dogs as well. Seth Lugo on the hill tonight for the Royals as they open up a series in St. Pete against the Rays. Lugo has been outstanding this year. And I mentioned the Yankees. West Coast swing underway tonight, 9 straight on the road, 2 interleague series with the Padres and the Giants on the back end. And this is a stretch right now, really from right now through almost the end of June. The Yankees are going to play a lot of winning teams, and they just did with the Mariners and splitting that 4-game series. A lot of road, this long road trip, a lot of games in the division as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Yankees unfold and play here over the next month. And they've gotten the starting pitching, they've gotten the home runs, they've gotten the bats going with the warmer weather, all those different things. And you're also going to see the return likely of Garrett Cole at some point in the month of June as well. Again, that is a wrap on day number 57 of the Major League Baseball regular season. As always, we remind you, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on the X, formerly known as Twitter, at LenoxOnBaseball. Big weekend of baseball. Looking forward to Seth Lugo tonight against the Rays for the Royals as they try to win their 7th in a row. We close out with former Aberdeen Iron Barn intern Brian Holland. Brian, close us out.
Stop talking during the anthem. Go watch Steve Lennox's new podcast because Steve is the man.